My bandmates said I was replaceable, so I took my equipment and watched their next show get canceled. Derek and Kyle had been treating me like a session musician for months, even though I'd co-founded the band 3 years ago. They'd schedule practice without telling me, then act annoyed when I showed up because they'd already worked out the parts. They'd change set lists without asking if I knew the songs. When we got interview requests from local blogs, they'd do them without me and tell reporters the band was a duo with backup. At shows, they'd introduce themselves by name and gesture vaguely in my direction with, "And that's our bassist." I'd brought the PA system, the mixing board, both amps, all the cables, and the van we used to haul everything. But according to them, I was just along for the ride. The breaking point should have been when they posted band photos on Instagram with me cropped out, but I stayed quiet. Should have been when they split merch money 2 ways and handed me $20 for gas. Should have been when Kyle's girlfriend asked why they kept that girl around if she wasn't dating one of them. But I kept showing up, kept loading my gear, kept playing the parts they couldn't bother to learn themselves. The real breaking point came during practice on a Wednesday. We were running through our set for the Riverside Festival, our biggest booking yet. 2,000 capacity, 3 other bands, actual industry people in attendance. I suggested we add a breakdown to our opener, something to grab attention right away. Derek didn't even look up from his phone. "We're good. Don't overthink it." I tried again. "The transition between songs 3 and 4 is sloppy. We should rehearse that section." Kyle laughed. "You're the only one having trouble with it." That's when Derek finally looked at me. "Real talk? We've been talking. And after Riverside, we're probably going to make some changes. Bring in someone with more stage presence, you know? Someone who fits the image better." Kyle jumped in. "No hard feelings. You're just not really band material. Anyone can play bass." The way they said it, so casual, so certain I'd just accept it and keep hauling their gear around until they found my replacement. I left practice without saying anything, drove straight home and sent one text to the group chat. "I'm out." Effective immediately. Within 5 minutes, my phone exploded. Derek called twice. Kyle sent a wall of texts. "Where are you going? We have Riverside in 9 days. Don't be dramatic. You can't just quit." I ignored all of it and started making calls. First, I called Tommy, who ran sound at Riverside. I'd helped him set up his home studio 6 months ago, taught him mixing basics, never asked for anything back. He answered on the second ring. "Hey Tommy, quick question. That PA system and mixing board Derek told you the band owns? That's mine. I'm withdrawing permission for them to use it." There was a pause. "All of it? They can't do a show without a PA." I smiled. "I know," Tommy sighed. "Well, that's going to be a problem for them." Derek showed up at my apartment that night, pounding on the door. I watched through the peephole as he cycled through emotions. Angry, desperate, back to angry. "This is insane. You're sabotaging us over nothing." I opened the door just enough to talk. "I'm not sabotaging anything. I'm just not contributing anymore. You said anyone can play bass, so anyone can bring equipment too." He tried a different approach. "We can work this out. We were going to talk to you after Riverside about becoming a full partner again." The lie was so transparent I almost laughed. "You have 9 days to find a PA system, mixing board, amps, and a bassist. Good luck." Derek's face went red. "You can't do this. We have contracts. We have an audience expecting us." I pulled out my phone and showed him the receipts. Every piece of equipment had my name on it, purchased with my money over the past 3 years. "Sue me if you want, but you're not using my gear." He stood there for another minute, probably trying to calculate whether he could physically take the equipment. He couldn't. I had 2 older brothers and a father who taught self-defense. Finally, Derek left and I blocked both of them everywhere. The next few days were beautiful. I watched the implosion from the safety of Instagram. They posted asking if anyone had PA equipment they could borrow for a festival show. The comments were brutal. "Isn't that what bands are supposed to own? What happened to your equipment? This sounds sketchy." Then they tried to rent gear, but everything within 80 miles was already booked for the festival weekend. They called the venue begging for house equipment. Riverside had a house system, but it was being used by the headliner. They tried to find a new bassist, but everyone who auditioned asked why the previous bassist left so suddenly. When they couldn't give a straight answer, word spread fast. That band that treats musicians like garbage. By day 6, they were offering me everything. Equal split of all money, official band member status, my name on everything. I didn't respond. On day 8, Riverside pulled them from the lineup. Tommy told me Derek had called screaming about breach of contract, but the contract specifically stated bands provide their own equipment. They'd violated the terms, not the venue. The festival went on without them, and the replacement band got their slot.